Hi everyone, Pixie here. Basically this is gonna be a story time while I detangle my hair. And yeah, because I'd be really bored and I don't like doing it. But I might as well tell you a story while I'm at it. My name's Pixie, and yeah, let's get to it. So, this story is about how my mother tried to kill me. And I don't say that lightly because I really believe she could have killed me for real. So, yeah. So, just to start with the background, I have two mothers. And it's not because, they're lesbian or anything. I have a biological mother, obviously, and I have a adoptive mother. Also, my adoptive mother is my aunt, but she's really like my adoptive mother. So, just so you don't get confused. And we're gonna call them Mama M and Mama S. Okay? And yes, I'm using the first letter of their first names. I don't care. Okay, so Mama F is my adoptive mother, and Mama M is my biological mother. So, basically the thing is, I was adopted by my adoptive mother at 8.5 years old. And so I lived with her for a while. I lived with her until I graduated primary school, which here is like elementary school, and I should have gotten a towel for that. Elementary school and middle school, basically. But the thing is, here you only have 6 years of primary school and then 5 years of secondary school. Okay, but this is not really the point of this story. Basically, I've been living with her since then, and then once I finished primary school, she couldn't stand me anymore, and she sent me to my bio mom to live with. Anyway, so, and then after high school, I did high school in the States, secondary school. So I only did 4 years of high school. So I came back to live with adoptive mom, Mama F. So Mama F, since I was a kid, she would tell us that she regretted adopting us, and that she wished she hadn't done it, and if anyone else wants to do the same thing that she did, she'll tell them not to, because she regrets it. So she's been telling us this since we were like super young, and etc. etc. I really need a towel for this. So, so basically, I came back to live with her. I was 15. And, you know, she would still repeat that when she was mad at us and pissed at us for no reason, and etc. etc. The thing is, I grew up with very religious moms. They both were. And we had to go to church. And then at some point, you know, a couple years after, I was 19 at this point, and I was just like, okay, I was trying to find myself, I guess, you know, and trying to figure out what was best for me. And I was doing research, and then I kind of fell on the, I was like, wait a minute. I used to hate it, by the way, but here you have the St. Joseph Oratory in Montreal. Because that's where I grew up. And then we would go there like once a year or something, and then we'd have to like pray to this statue of Jesus and all that stuff, right? And because we're Catholic, I was anyway. And in the churches, even like back home when we were not going to the oratory, you know, if you're Catholic, there's always like a statue of Jesus and Mary and all that stuff, right? So that's where we were. And you know what? There you go. I have an old t-shirt right here. So, I used to hate it all the time, because like we would have to go touch the foot of the statue, and I'm like, what am I supposed to, what is this statue, oh my god, I'm crazy, what is this statue gonna do for me? Absolutely nothing. So I used to hate it, and I was like, why am I praying to a statue when the Bible says don't make false idols? Like, why don't I just pray directly to God? Why do I have to touch this statue? Like, this statue is not, touching it is not gonna save me, okay? So I used to hate that. And then the more I did research, I was 19 at the time, like I said, I started to realize, like, I don't agree with a lot of things that the Catholic Church does, and I don't feel Catholic. I don't agree with it, and I don't want that. And then I was looking for stuff, and then I found, you know, I was reading the description of Christ and stuff, and like, let's agree to disagree. I'm not debating religion here, so that's not what I want to do. But I started to realize, like, Christ wasn't white. He did not have long, flowy hair with blue eyes, like. And I was doing more research, and I was like, oh bitch, like, this image of Christ was basically based on Cesar Borgia. Or Borgia? I don't know how they say it. Borgia. And so, like, I was not bowing down to, first of all, a statue. Second of all, a statue that looked nothing like what it was supposed to look like. And so I started skipping church. But the thing is, like I said, my family was very religious, and I knew she wouldn't go for it, even though I was 19 and basically an adult and could make my own decisions. Like, I knew she would be pissed, right? So I didn't say anything to her. I just, like, I would literally just oversleep and be like, oops, I woke up late, I ain't go to church or nothing, right? So that's what I did. And I was really scared shitless because I was raised with parents that would beat us at the slightest things. So yeah, also the thing is, like, I might try to answer, like, I might try to ask questions and they would never answer me correctly. Or if I asked a question that, you know, that made them question their own beliefs, they would get mad and yell at me or curse at me or whatever the case may be, right? So that's how it was. So I was scared of just stopping to go to church. Like, sometimes I would go, but, like, I started to go less and less, but I didn't say anything, right? So at one point, I remember it was the 4th of January, 2014. It was a Sunday. And I made sure I got out of my room, like, I made sure I was asleep or whatever, and then I woke up at like 11. I was awake before. I would just, like, pretend I was still sleeping. So I wake up and I go upstairs and she was like sweeping the floor. You know? So I said good morning, you know. I was still in the stairs, okay? Because my room was in the basement. So I was still on the stairs, like, I was on the landing. There was a small landing where the stairs curved. And that's where I was. And I had like 3 or 4 more steps until I was like on the first floor, or the HOC, the ground floor. So I'm there and I said good morning because she was like, where she was sweeping was right by the stairs, because we had kind of like it was not a balcony, but I guess it was like an overhang where the stairs were. And she had a bunch of plants there, and then we had a huge fish tank. So that's where she was. And then my brother was there too. He was just chilling, my little brother. And he was like about to be 12 at the time, okay? So, where was he? Yeah, something like that. He was to be 12 at the time. And then, so I said good morning to her, and I said good morning to my brother, and my brother answers me. And she says good morning. And then she stops sleeping and looks at me, and she's like, can I ask you a question? And I'm like, yeah. And I knew exactly what the topic was going to be about. I knew it. I knew it, man. I knew it. And it's like, so you can skip church. My brother can skip church. But me and my sister, since we're adopted, we can't skip church. Like, what the fuck? So she was like, can I ask you a question? And I said, okay. But I knew it was coming. I was like, okay, she's gonna be mad, right? But never in my life did I think it was gonna be, like, as bad as it got. So I say yeah, and then she's like, are you an atheist now? And I'm like, I was like, wait, what now? He's like, are you an atheist now? And I'm like, no. She's like, then why do you not go to church anymore? And I said, well, I'm not an atheist. And I go up the stairs, right? Because I was like, I'm not staying in the stairs, like, to argue while she's up there looking down at me. Like, it's just not practical. So I go up to the landing, and then I'm in, basically, like, I'm in the dining room. That's where I was. And I'm like, no, I'm not an atheist. I don't want to be Catholic anymore. And then I started explaining myself, because obviously I don't want her to lose her shit. And I'm like, sorry. I told myself not to curse, but. So I'm telling her, and I was like, I just don't want to be Catholic anymore, because there's a lot of things that we do and then the Bible says not to do. Like, for example, all the images of Mary and the statues, and I don't feel like bowing down to a fake Jesus anymore. To the images of a fake Jesus. And then she slapped me, like, backhanded so hard. I did not see it coming. I was so stunned. I was just like looking like a deer caught in the headlights. Yeah, that was me. So I'm like, and then I finally recover, and she was like, get out of my house. And I was like, wait, you don't understand. I'm not saying I don't believe in Christ. I'm saying, but she wouldn't let me talk. She was screaming. She was like, get out of my house. And then she was trying to hit me with the broom. And I was like, I am not, oh, my bad. Technical difficulties. So she was trying to hit me with the broom, and I was not having it. But she was really, like, trying to poke it at me, and I was like, oh my god, okay, this is dangerous. So I was backing up, and then my brother, he's just like, he gets up, and he approaches, because he's like, what the fuck is going on now? And she's screaming, get out of my house! Get the fuck out of my house! Je veux plus te voir ici! I don't want to see you here anymore. Get the fuck out of my house. Genre, hors de ma yeux. And blah, 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 blah. And I'm trying to explain, but she's still not letting me explain. And then all of a sudden, she just grabs my neck. I swear to you guys, I have been in some previous situations that have put my life at risk, but I had never, ever been scared as I was that day. Like, ever. So basically, she grabs my neck and she's like, she's strangling me, okay? She's strangling me. I'm looking at her and I look in her eyes. Her eyes were wild. I had never seen this person in my life. Like, I swear to you, I literally felt like she was possessed. And I was like, see, this is when you're trying to gain the truth and Satan is coming to get you. For real, I really thought there was a demon inside her that was like, okay, yeah, she's trying to get out of the matrix and we gotta keep her, like, or we gotta get rid of her, right? And she was like, and she was strangling, okay? I could feel all her fingers strangling at me. The only thing that, like, made me, like, be able to get away from her is because I was taller. And so I was able to kind of, like, pull enough my neck and, like rip her hands off my neck, okay? Like, I'm telling you, the whole week after, and I'm telling you, for the whole week, like a good 7 days, I could still feel all of her fingers, one by one, like, on my neck, pressing on my neck, okay? I'd never been so scared in my life. So she's screaming, get out of my house, hors de ma vie, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm trying to explain it, and then once she choked me, I was like, what? Then I started crying, because, like, slapping me was like, oh my god. But when she started choking me, I got so scared, okay? And she's like, I never want to see you here again. So, and she's like, get out of my house now, and don't you ever come back, blah, blah, blah. So, I take my, why am I stopping? Okay, I take my, so I'm like, okay, fine. So I run downstairs because I was not going to leave the house like that with none of my possessions. Like, I don't trust you, lady. So I took my computer. I took my school bag with all of my books. Like, I just put everything in there. And then I took that. I took my phone, my laptop, my charger. So that was basically that. And then I took my car keys. I got dressed. And I said goodbye to my brother. My brother was just standing there, like, frozen. He didn't know what to do. And, like, yeah. And I left. I got in my car. Like, it was a good thing that I had just gotten my car, like, in September. Right? So, I got my car. I didn't know where I was going. I was crying. And I couldn't see anything. I still, like, put the car in gear, in reverse. And then, like, backed out of the driveway, like, in the middle of winter. I was scared. I was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to sleep in the car? But I don't have blankets. And I can't keep my car running. Because, first of all, that's not... I mean, I love the plan and everything. But, like, if it was sustainable, I would have done it. I'm sorry. But, like, I'm not going to freeze to death in the middle of winter. Right? So, I got my car. And we were close to, like, at the next intersection, I started driving, but I couldn't see anything because I was crying so much, and I was shaking so much, like, I didn't trust myself to drive. So I pulled up into a parking garage where there was a little strip mall. I pulled up there. and I'm crying my eyes out, and I'm freaking out, and I don't know what to do. And finally, I'm like, well, I did have like an older couple that was kind of like, they were Israelites, and I had met them through all of my research and stuff, right? So I went. So then I called the lady, crying my eyes out. She couldn't understand a damn thing I was saying. Hell, I didn't even know what I was saying, right? And so she's crying, I'm crying, and she's like, calm down, I can't understand what's going on. And I'm like, she kicked me out. She tried to kill me. Oh my god. And I'm freaking out. Oh my god. I'm telling you, I was a mess. I was crying and choking on my own words because I had this big old ball in my throat that wouldn't go away, right? And then she's like, well, okay, calm down. And I'm like, I don't know if I can drive. I had to stop because I'm crying too much. And she's like, okay, take a deep breath. And then she kind of calmed me down enough that I wasn't like, that I was starting to make sense. And she was like, well, relax and come to my house. So I did that. She didn't live far away, like it really was like maybe 15 minute drive, not even. So, whoops. And so I went to her house. So I get to her house, and like I'm crying. Her husband opens the door and he's like, what's going on, right? And I'm crying, and like I start freaking out again, and I'm like, oh my god, I have nowhere to go. I have no other family here except for her. So I can't go anywhere. And then I'm telling them what happened, and then they calm me down. They give me some tea, some water first, and then some tea to like warm me up. Cause I didn't let the car warm up when I left. I just started it and left. And so I'm over here crying. They calm me down. I tell them what happened, and then they're like, "Oh my god, yeah, I understand." And then I'm freaking out because I can still feel her fingers on my throat. Like, it felt like she was still choking me and I couldn't breathe. So, panic attack. I think that was my first ever panic attack in my life. Like, so, sorry. And so, yeah, she's telling me that, and I'm freaking out. And then she was like, okay, are you gonna call your birth mom? And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell her. Like, it's not like she's gonna do anything. She might be mad at me too, etc., etc. So she was like, because she has 2 boys, and both of them are autistic. But she's like, look, we can put the boys in the same room, and then you can stay here. You can stay here until you finish college. Because here it's like there's college and then university. Okay, since we only have like 11 years of schooling, what they do is that they have this, well, here in Quebec anyway, it's not like that in the other provinces, only here, which is so annoying. They have this thing called college, which is basically like a 2-year period when you can do like specialty programs in order to either like there's a technique and a pre-university programs. So basically you can either do a technique and go straight on the job market. It's 3 years, and then you can basically go start working, or you can go do 2 years of pre-university and then you go to university and you do 3 years of university, depending on what. If you're a doctor, you won't be there forever, but it's neither here nor there. So that's what she told me. I could stay until I was finished with college, and I was basically starting a new program, so I was about to be there for like, I just finished my first semester, so I had like 3 more semesters left. And like, we won't ask you for any payments or anything, like, for free. And I was like, what? Okay. And I was like, well, I was freaking out because I'm like, if I don't come back, then I'll never come back and I'll never talk to her again, and I'll probably be cut off from the family. So I was freaking out about that. And then at some point, my mom texts me, and my mom is like, oh, Sandy, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. That's Mama M, the biological one. So she was like, what is going on? Blah, blah, blah. So I tell her, and I'm like, she kicked me out. But you know what this lady did? She called Mama M, Bio Mom, and she told everybody basically that she was talking to me and like telling me stuff, and I didn't want to listen, and I left the house. Me, the girl who's like the goody two shoes and is scared of doing anything because like she's scared shitless of her parents. Me, I left. Sure, okay. So that's what she told, and I was like, and I didn't know that at the time. So I just thought like she had told Mama M that she threw me out or something, right? I mean, it's her sister. Yeah. So then my Mama M called me, like, we didn't talk about it because I was freaking out too much for her to actually like discuss things with me. But I was freaking out, and she was like, you have to go back. You have to go back. And I was like, she threw me out. How am I going to go back? She threw me out. Like, what do you mean go back? She's just going to throw me out again and probably throw all my clothes like out in the snow and everything. And then she was like, yeah, but she's the only family you have in Canada, and if something happens, she's the one that people are gonna call. So you have to go back. And I didn't want to go back, but at the same time, I understood that if I didn't go back that day, I would not go back at all. Like, it would be it. Like, it would be like cut off, and that's it, right? And obviously, like, the whole family would probably be mad at me, saying it's my fault or some shit, right? So she was like, yeah, you know. And then she told me, Piti, dans la vie, des fois, faut boucher non pour boire de l'eau senti. And I was like, and basically, if I translate it into English, she said, in life, sometimes you have to pinch your nose to drink the dirty, stinky water. And she said that multiple times during the conversation. And so I hung up with her after crying my eyes out, and she's telling me to go back and go back. And like, I knew my mom was not, like, mama, and was not gonna defend me, because she never has. But I was hoping, you know, this situation is extreme, so maybe she will this time. Maybe she talked to her, and then Mama F agreed to, like, let me come back and live in the house, right? So I spent, like, I knew she was gonna work that night, so I spent the rest of the day at the couple's house, and I was debating back and forth if I'm gonna listen to my mother or not. Finally, I decided I was, but I made sure I waited until I knew she would be gone for work. Well, I wasn't sure she worked. I don't remember exactly if she did work that night. Did she? I don't know. But, like, I went back there, and I went back inside. Everyone was sleeping, at least. I went back, and I went straight to my bed. And I couldn't, for the life of me, I could not, at all, I could not sleep, okay? I was too scared. Like, you don't understand the way she was looking at me when she was choking me and strangling me. What's the difference, really? Strangling? Anyway, you know what I mean. The way she was looking at me was so evil. Like, I've never seen someone look at you and want you to die like that. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'd never seen such rage and ill intent in someone's eyes before. Like, it was literally, like, I'm telling you, I am still certain that she would have strangled me to death had I not fought to get away. Had I not succeeded in pulling her fingers and her hands away from my neck. So I went back. It was the scariest thing ever. Like, my insomnia went through the roof. I could not sleep. It was a horrible thing. And I didn't, I slept. I think at some point my body shut down, but I kept having nightmares. And I was certain, I don't know why, I was convinced that if she came back to my room while I was sleeping, that she would finish the job she'd started. Literally. Like, I was certain she would, like, finish strangling me, or, like, put a pillow over my face and actually kill me while I was asleep. So, yeah. No. So, yeah. I'm telling you, like I said before, for a week, I kept like feeling her fingers still as if she's still there, like in contact with my skin. It was horrible. I couldn't shake the feeling. I couldn't sleep. And then after that, basically the next morning, I don't remember if like I had school or not that early, but like I remember I got up and I spent the most time I could out of that house. I said good morning to her, but that was it. Like, I'm someone who loves talking, and I was quiet. I didn't say anything anymore. I was super close with my brother, and then I stopped spending time at home. So it was like, you know, I'm sorry, but I'm not staying here. Like, I would stay at school as much as I could, or make sure that even after my shifts at work, I would stay and talk to my coworker that was like taking over, and I would talk and spend all my time there because I really I didn't want to go back. It was horrible. I never felt at home after that. And that summer after that, I had went to go see Mama M, and I told her the story, and she's very passive, so all she did was like, that's it. Like that's supposed to make me feel better. That same summer, my other brother just left. He left the house, not the one that was 11, but another one that was like 2 years younger than me. And yeah, a year younger than me. Sorry. He left because she was like, oh, I want to go somewhere this summer and you're not staying here. Like, okay, where is he supposed to go? You're not staying here. But like, she was saying that, but she didn't buy him a ticket to go back to Haiti. But she's like, you're not staying here. So what does that mean? He's not staying here. You're basically telling him to get the fuck out, basically. I mean, he wasn't innocent, though. He was very much a troublemaker, didn't listen to the rules. But then again, I was completely the opposite, like, very passive like my mom, but like a little less, but still. When it came to the people I cared about, I wasn't passive. But when it came to myself, I was. So she never said she was sorry. And like sometimes we would watch movies in her room with my little brother and my sister too. But after that, I never went. I'm not stepping foot in her room. I didn't say anything. I said good morning, good evening when I came back, because, still try to be polite, but that's it. I didn't say anything anymore. And then, the funny part after this is, like, she came back, like, the fall after this, fall 2014. or like it was almost fall, I don't know. And then she came to the room and she's like, "Can I ask you a question?" And like the flashback I got, man, I was ready to run for it. Like, you don't understand. And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Did I do something to you?" Because, like, you know, my brother had left the house that summer. And I don't know if my little brother had told her we talked about her when she wasn't here or something. But, or maybe she just noticed we kept to ourselves. And she was like, "Did I do something to you?" And you know what I said? I looked her straight in the face and said, "No." What was I supposed to say? Yes? And what? Get her mad so she could choke me again? Or like this time hit me with something and kill me? Like, no. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Not today. And she's like, "Well, 'cause like, you guys are not acting like normal." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you." Anyway, and I told her, like, my little brother said that you told him at 21, everybody needs to get out of your house. So, we're just trying to figure out what we're going to do. That's it. And she was like, and then after that she said, "My brother didn't say that." But I'm like, well, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Like, I don't know what she wanted me to say then. Like, did you want me to say that? To tell you, yeah, you did something wrong? Like, did you not know you did something wrong? I'm confused. Like, or were you just finding an excuse to, like, hurt us even more? Or do some, like, you know, like, I don't understand. Anyway. So, yeah, this is the time my mother, adoptive mother, tried to kill me. And like I said, I really believe that if I hadn't been able to get her off my neck, that she probably would have choked me. Because I didn't want to, because the thing is, I was not willing to hurt her. So I'm pretty sure I was not willing to hurt her. That's one thing. But she grabbed for my neck and squeezed. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, anyway. So, yeah. And it's funny because, like, a couple weeks ago, she texted me talking about some, mom who loves you, and you always have your place at home. You can come back whenever you want. That pissed me off so much. Like, really? Since when was that my home? Like, you kept saying that when we were kids, you kept saying you couldn't wait for everybody to leave you alone with your son. So basically, since we were adopted, we were not your kids, which was fine. You kept saying there was only one kid that came out of you. Again, making the distinction that we don't belong here. And now you're telling me, oh yeah, you can come back whenever you want. Like, nah. No thanks. I'm done. So anyway, that's the story. I'm still not done, obviously, but with my hair. But leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the story. Let me know what you would have done in that situation. Let me know if something like that did happen to you, and give your advice below. Comment, share, subscribe to my channel. I'm hoping to make more videos, and yeah, I'm hoping to make videos about like book reviews, story times. I don't have a lot of stories, but something happens, maybe rants too. I might do some makeup videos, not really tutorials, but me just putting on makeup and talking about stuff, life, whatever. So yeah, if you have any suggestions of things you would like to see, obviously I'm not a hair expert or a makeup expert or anything, but just things about life and adulting. And because I'm struggling with that, I'm really struggling with that. I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna stop rambling now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.